Welcome to Kansas Ag Report. I'm Ken Rogers. Merry Christmas. On this week's program, and what has become somewhat of a tradition, we sit down with Montgomery County farmer and Kansas Farm Bureau President Rich Phelps. We'll talk about their recent annual meeting and also with those weather events that happened earlier this month that caused many fires, loss of livestock, sources of feed, homes, and fences. We'll talk shortly as well about how you can help. We'll also have features from the Kansas Soybean Commission, Kansas Department of Agriculture, and Kansas Grain Sorghum, along with the weekly update from the Kansas Livestock Association and market information from Pinion, a division of K-Coe Isom. Kansas Ag Report brought to you in part by the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers. Kansas Farm Bureau, a grassroots ag organization representing the state's farm and ranch families since 1919, KFB.org. And the Kansas Wheat Commission, lending in the adoption of profitable innovations from wheat, online at kswheat.com. In agricultural news from agview.net, wildfires in several Kansas counties prompted folks like the Kansas Livestock Association, Kansas Farm Bureau, and other ag groups to begin coordinating donations of feed, fencing supplies, and cash for affected ranchers. The bulk of the acres burned are within the counties of Russell, Osborne, Rooks, and Ellis. Livestock producers in the hardest hit areas lost fence, livestock, and feed resources. Homes and outbuildings also among the losses. The Heartland Regional Stockyards in Plainville is serving as a collection point for distribution and for hay and some of those ranching supplies. Stock water tanks are still needed as well. In addition, a drop-off point is the Russell County Fairgrounds, a collection and distribution site for those impacted by the fire in southwest Lane County and surrounding areas has also been set up near Dighton. Fencing supplies are the greatest need in that area, and cash donations can be made through the Kansas Livestock Foundation. That's an arm of the KLA. You go to kla.org or send a check to Wildfire Relief in the memo line to 6331 Southwest 37th, Topeka, Kansas, 66614. All proceeds will be used to help those affected by those events. Donations may be tax deductible as well. Federal disaster assistance is available to those eligible fire victims. The Farm Service Agency offers cost share and technical assistance following natural disasters. The Emergency Conservation Program provides payments for livestock cross fencing, boundary fences, cattle gates, or wildlife exclusion fences on agriculture land. The Livestock Indemnity Program, or LIP, offers payments to eligible livestock owners for injuries and deaths in excess of the normal mortality that are caused by eligible loss conditions, including wildfires. Now, producers must file a notice of loss within 30 days of that loss becoming apparent, then file an application for payment by March 1st of 2022. Photographs, video, veterinary records, all those are suggested to help verify losses. And emergency assistance for livestock producers provides financial assistance for losses due to feed shortages such as hay. Producers must file a notice of loss within 30 days of the loss becoming apparent and file an application for payment by January 30th of next year. Now, with all FSA disaster cost share programs, it's essential that losses are properly documented with verifiable records in order to receive assistance. If you have some questions or need more information, contact your local FSA office, and you can also find more information on the Kansas Department of Agriculture's website. We'll be back in a moment. The Kansas Ag Report brought to you in part by Kansas Grain Sorghum, growers working together. Learn more at ksgrainsorghum.org. Grass and Grain, online or in the mail, keeping Kansas farmers informed for over 60 years. grassandgrain.com.
Grain sorghum is one of the most important cereal crops worldwide, and Kansas leads the nation in its production. Over the years, sorghum has been either exported, used in animal feed domestically, or for other industrial uses. Recently, its use in the ethanol market has seen tremendous growth, with 30% of domestic sorghum typically going to ethanol production. Kansas Grain Sorghum is committed to sorghum research, market development, and education. Learn more at ksgrainsorghum.org.
And we're joined now by Rich Phelps, who is the president of the Kansas Farm Bureau. This has almost been a tradition now. The last couple of years, we've been able to catch you right around Christmas time, end of the year. So, Rich, good to see you.
Well, good to be here, Ken. Good to have an opportunity to visit with you and your guests as well.
Well, now, as we got this set up, it was going to be kind of a review. We're going to do that in just a little bit, but obviously, folks, when we're taping this interview, it's right after that weather event that came through, brought all the wind and many fires. And so I know you, Farm Bureau, other agriculture groups have been working, trying to bring some relief to especially folks in central Kansas.
Well, very, very true, and don't know a whole lot of details at this time, but yes, Kansas Farm Bureau, Kansas Livestock Association, been in communications with the Department of Agriculture, still doing a lot of assessment, but we know there's a lot of damage out there, Ken.
Well, it just, we knew it was coming, but still some things you can't necessarily plan for. But one thing I noticed, Rich, that as the day developed on that day, you kept hearing reports of how, we didn't talk politics, Rich. We talked neighbor helping neighbor. And I just said some social media, this is the Kansas I know. The one that if your neighbor needs help, they're going to help. Even, we don't think about anything except how can you help your neighbor? And that, especially in this time of not only Thanksgiving, but just this time of celebrating Christmas, if you think you lost hope, you can't when you see stories about this.
Very true, and it is a sad time of year to have an event like this happen for a lot of these people. But no, you're right. The outpouring of people wanting to help, calling, offering so many different things, and it's very grateful to live in a part of the country that they have that feeling towards one another.
Well, if you want to help out, you can go to kfb.org. There's some information there. Also, the Kansas Livestock Association, social media, and so on. You'll find a lot of different things on how to help, and that's really kind of what it's all about. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break. We did go a little short in a second because we're going to go a little longer. We come back, we're going to talk about the annual meeting. We'll do that in just a moment. Excuse me.
Now, I will say this. You made me think.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
What if U.S. soybean meal were more than a commodity? If seed companies and the soybean checkoff built a better variety? That future is here. The time is now. To meet end-user demands, the soybean checkoff is investing in the compositional quality of soybeans, including meal. A message from the Kansas Soybean Commission, the soybean checkoff. Progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Next time you see a beautiful field of corn, reach out and thank the farmers who work tirelessly to raise corn for livestock feed, renewable fuels, and exports to feed a growing world population. The farmers on the Kansas Corn Commission work for Kansas Corn with grower-funded checkoff dollars that support foreign and domestic market development, research, promotion, and education to expand opportunities for Kansas farmers. To learn more, visit kscorn.com.
Many seed companies claim to offer the latest genetics, but how many have tested those genetics in soils just like yours? The Oldie Seed Know to Grow research program has fully tested the latest seed genetics in soils that are right in your neighborhood. The Oldie Seed Know to Grow program can recommend the best performing hybrids from technologies like Enlist, Extend, and Liberty Link that will optimize the yield and profit of every acre on your farm. Contact Oldie Seed today.
Kansas Ag Report brought to you in part by the Kansas Livestock Association, supporting members' business interests and meeting consumer demands. KLA.org. Oldie Seed Farms, carrying soil-specific seed. Find them on the web at oldieseed.com. That's OHLDE seed.com. And Kansas Corn, building the future at kansascorn.com. And Rich Phelps, the president of the Kansas Farm Bureau, is joining us. And we're going to talk now about the annual meeting. Typically, we like to do it at the end, but, you know, schedules are, and made a little change this year in some of the timing, but also wanted to talk with you, kind of let the dust settle from things that went on at the meeting. And any big highlights, anything that we want to first kind of share what happened at the annual meeting?
I think one of the big highlights was just getting everybody together again. I think we underestimate that sometimes, but people just wanting together across the state and get to see one another. But two, also to make a lot of recognitions of people that have made a lot of effort in making our organization what it is, but the opportunity to also address some people that have made contributions to agriculture too. So had the opportunity to do along with that. And then we conclude basically with our policy process to renew the majority of the policy we have and tweak some other things as well.
Anything that earth-shattering maybe that came out of the meeting?
No, I wouldn't say it's earth-shattering, but I think one thing that is really a concern to a lot of, not just our membership, but all those in the livestock business is livestock marketing, livestock reporting. It's on the minds of a lot of people. We know that there's been a lot of disruption in marketing as a result of the pandemic and then a follow-up of that, but really some concerns about the disparity in pricing and those things and how we can go about addressing those.
Well, there's been a number of different bills, Rich, that run through Congress, and I don't know what, if anything, is going to come of it. I know there's been some talk maybe trying to tag it on to something else, but I would guess that's what you've heard probably as you traveled in other county farm bureaus as well and met with members, that, you know, the system seems to be broken. Something has to be done.
Well, something has to be done, but I think they also have to be cognizant of supply and demand, and how much do you want to interfere with that? There's no question that, you know, there's some unanswered questions out there, but we got to be careful that there's mandates talked about and those type of things, and we really got to be careful that we impose too many of those mandates on anything that we do.
Speaking of challenges, as we sit, Rich, farmers are airing a lot of concerns about the high cost of fertilizer, the high cost of inputs. This could see a dramatic change maybe in acreage from corn to soybeans. But really, farmers are just going, you know, we finally got a little break with higher commodity prices, but all that's going to be taken up by inputs. And some of that isn't necessarily all the market's fault.
No, not at all. And we're very fortunate that we've got some commodity prices that can absorb some of these input prices. But as the conversation goes, you know, amongst the farm group, weather is always one of the primary talking points. But no question that input cost and how scary it is to where they're at, and is at the level they're at, is there going to be any relief to that? We know there's a lot of contributing factors to make those input prices being where they're at.
Now, as we talk, just a few days away now, you'll be heading to Atlanta for the American Farm Bureau. AFBF has done a lot of work with sustainability, and that's more than just a buzzword now, Rich. It seems to be, we're looking at that, regenerative agriculture, all those different phases. What might come out of that meeting from a broad standpoint that could come back to Kansas Farm Bureau?
Well, I think the whole, as you say, it's a buzzword, sustainability, carbon sequestration. A little bit of the concern that we have, until we have it defined a little more exactly what we're dealing with from the science standpoint, what is attainable and what's not attainable, it's a little tough to make any policy. And as we go into Atlanta, I question that we're going to have any hardcore policy. We still have a lot of questions to be asked. The impact on agriculture is going to be tremendous. Some of these things, we're very economically minded. Economics is a big part of sustainability, but a lot of things on the table don't necessarily revolve around economics.
All right, Rich, we'd like to talk more, but we're out of time already. So Merry Christmas to you and yours, and we look forward to continuing our conversation next year.
Well, thank you very much, Ken. Appreciate the opportunity to chat with you.
Rich Phelps, who is from Liberty, Kansas, the president of the Kansas Farm Bureau. That's in Montgomery County, by the way, if you want to check the atlas. We'll be back with more in just a moment.
What if sustainability were synonymous with U.S. soy? If energy efficiency, water quality, and soil health help define U.S. soy's value, that future is here, the time is now. To meet end-user demands, the Soybean Checkoff is committing to sustainability that's achievable, worthwhile, and enduring. A message from the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Kansas Soybean Expo is just around the corner. We hope to see you January 12th for a day of valuable insights and networking. The lineup of speakers includes comedian Larry Weaver, Ed Anderson with the North Central Soybean Research Program, Darrell Holliday with Advanced Market Concepts and Country Futures, and industry updates from several partner organizations. Governor Laura Kelly is confirmed as the luncheon's featured speaker. Results from the 2021 Yield and Value Contests will also be shared with attendees. It is important to note our venue change beginning this year. The event remains in the same complex as the Topeka Farm Show, but is now located in the ballroom of Hotel Topeka at City Center. The luncheon will still take place in Heritage Hall at 11:30 a.m. Event registration begins at 8:30 a.m. on January 12th, with the program kicking off at 9 a.m. A 4 p.m. reception brought to you by our corporate sponsors concludes the event. Further details about the event, as well as the pre-registration form, is available online at www.kansassoybeans.org/expo. Pre-registration is not required, but is recommended to reserve your luncheon seat and swag bag. Make plans to attend the Kansas Soybean Expo on January 12th, and we will see you there.
Next time you see a beautiful field of corn, reach out and thank the farmers who work tirelessly to raise corn for livestock feed, renewable fuels, and exports to feed a growing world population. The farmers on the Kansas Corn Commission work for Kansas corn with grower-funded checkoff dollars that support foreign and domestic market development, research, promotion, and education to expand opportunities for Kansas farmers. To learn more, visit kscorn.com.
Protecting animal health is a critical part of the mission of the Kansas Department of Agriculture. Animal agriculture is a significant part of the Kansas economy and therefore of critical importance not only to the agriculture industry, to the whole state. That's why the Kansas Department of Agriculture makes it a priority to lead the nation in foreign animal disease planning, training, and exercising. In December, KDA led a three-day functional exercise to practice the state's agriculture emergency response plan. This year's exercise, named Armor, was preceded by a tabletop exercise in November, followed by 3 days of information and drills performed in December. The functional exercise saw the state's incident management team activated to play out an animal disease scenario. KDA's policy group and incident management team developed policies and operational plans and worked to provide factual, transparent public information and education to the public and media, including a phone bank to receive calls from citizens who would be affected by an incident. Hundreds of injects tested and validated responses from participants, which included players from several Kansas counties, state and federal agencies, private ag operations, and a variety of ag industry groups. Responding to a foreign animal disease will require cooperation among all of these entities in order to stop the spread of the disease and enable the industry to get back to business as quickly as possible. These annual exercises have been instrumental in expanding the state's response plan and honing details based on new challenges and experiences each year. This continual improvement of the animal disease response plan supports the investment Kansas has made in sustaining the rigorous practice via the full-scale exercise. We are committed to continuing our efforts to protect farmers, ranchers, and agribusinesses across the state of Kansas.
Many seed companies claim to offer the latest genetics, but how many have tested those genetics in soils just like yours? The Oldie Seed Know to Grow research program has fully tested the latest seed genetics in soils that are right in your neighborhood. The Oldie Seed Know to Grow program can recommend the best performing hybrids from technologies like Enlist, Extend, and Liberty Link that will optimize the yield and profit of every acre on your farm. Contact Oldie Seed today.
With 60 years of service to the industry, Don Landau from Marshall County is a recipient of this year's Distinguished Service Award. His passion for agriculture started while in high school, where he was an active member of his FFA chapter and taught the welding class while he was a student. In 1963, Don founded Landau Company, LLC in Marysville. What started as a small blacksmith welding shop has now evolved into a leading agricultural and industrial manufacturing company that employs more than 900 people across the region. His success in manufacturing has led to numerous local and national awards. He served as president of the Farm Equipment Manufacturers Association of America and was awarded the National Small Business Prime Contractor of the Year Award from the Small Business Association. Don is a strong supporter of his community and is a financial contributor to the local, state, and national FFA organizations. He has contributed funds to the Marysville Library and supported major renovations to the KMYZ Airport. He served on the Kansas Health Foundation and on the Transportation 2000 board, which led to getting a major overpass and airport expansion for Marysville. Recently, Don committed $1 million to help construct an agricultural education facility at his local school district. Investing in the future of the ag industry and serving his state and community has been the legacy of Don Landau for 60 years. Thank you, Don, for your commitment to agriculture in Kansas.
Back-to-back record sorghum sales this marketing year may see producers planning around the crop in the new year, just as your Kansas Grain Sorghum Commission has its eye on the future in this Kansas Sorghum Update. According to the USDA for the week of December 3rd through 9th, net U.S. sorghum sales of 331,900 metric tons for 2021-2022 were up 5% from the previous week and 24% from the prior 4-week average, signaling a marketing year high, besting its prior record from just a week earlier. With 386,000 metric tons, or 15.2 million bushels, in new sales, China has purchased over 1,094,000 metric tons of U.S. sorghum from late November through mid-December alone, equivalent to 43 million sorghum bushels sold to the country since harvest started to wrap up in our region. As we turn the page on this year's harvest, it's never too early to begin planning and booking your sorghum seed for the upcoming season. If you're new to sorghum this year or looking for a refresher on best production practices custom tailored to your region, visit the Sorghum Checkoff's production guides for great management tips to maximize grain sorghum's tremendous potential to return a profit to your farm. The United Sorghum Checkoff Program and the Kansas Grain Sorghum Commission work in tandem to provide these information resources to growers to ensure production can meet new and sustained demand. And if you'd like your voice heard in the Commission's process to enhance producers' profit, the Kansas Grain Sorghum Commission will meet for its next board meeting on Thursday, January 27th in Salina, Kansas. And don't forget to register for the Kansas Commodity Classic to be held the next day in Salina, with noteworthy guest speakers covering topics from markets to climate trends. And for more information on these free resources and events, contact our staff by visiting ksgrainsorghum.org. For Kansas Grain Sorghum, this is Adam York.
Grain sorghum is one of the most important cereal crops worldwide, and Kansas leads the nation in its production. Over the years, sorghum has been either exported, used in animal feed domestically, or for other industrial uses. Recently, its use in the ethanol market has seen tremendous growth, with 30% of domestic sorghum typically going to ethanol production. Kansas Grain Sorghum is committed to sorghum research, market development, and education. Learn more at ksgrainsorghum.org.
Wildfires in several Kansas counties prompted KLA and other ag organizations to begin coordinating donations of feed, fencing supplies, and cash for affected ranchers. Nearly 400,000 acres were impacted by fire, with the bulk being burned within the counties of Russell, Osborne, Rooks, and Ellis. Livestock producers in the hardest hit areas lost fence, livestock, and feed resources. Homes and outbuildings also were among the losses. Heartland Regional Stockyards at Plainville is serving as a collection and distribution point for supplies, including hay and stockwater tanks. Russell Livestock also is taking hay donations. An additional drop-off point for supply donations is the Russell County Fairgrounds. A collection and distribution site for those impacted by fire in southwestern Lane County and surrounding areas has been set up near Dighton. Fencing supplies are the greatest need in this area. Cash donations can be made through the Kansas Livestock Foundation, KLA's charitable arm, by going to www.kla.org or sending a check with wildfire relief written in the memo line to the KLA office in Topeka. All proceeds will be used to help those affected by the recent weather event. Donations may be tax deductible. If you are in need of supplies or would like to make an in-kind donation, call KLA at 785-273-5115.
Premier Farm and Home has what you need to make your lawn the best in the neighborhood.
Hi, I'm Ken. We choose Premier Farm and Home for the professional look that we do ourselves.
Feel free to stop in. You can also visit our website at heycow.com.
Good morning and Merry Christmas. I'm Darren Van Vactor with Pinion, a division of K-Coe Isom. The ag markets continue to chop around, mostly in the higher ranges for corn, beans, and wheat. Prices have been supported by weather. Corn and beans are getting support out of South America, where Argentina and parts of southern Brazil are in need of rain. The potential dryness in Brazil's bean crop is twofold, because if beans require replanting, then the window for their second crop corn is shorter. Domestically, our corn and bean usage and demand has been good, evidenced by strong basis. If the dryness in South America persists, we could see some fresh buying show up here in our export markets. Wheat is sourcing for support after suffering a setback from higher than anticipated production estimates out of Australia and the Ukraine. Maybe that support could come domestically as dryness persists throughout wheat growing regions in the U.S. The windstorm and fires that swept across the plains last week caused various crop and property damage. Property damages can be quickly assessed, but the lingering impact on the crop will take some time. Our thoughts and prayers go out to those farms, families, and communities impacted by the recent events. If you'd like to discuss the markets or a specific strategy, please give us a call at 888-452-8751. I'm Darren Van Vactor. Be safe and have a Merry Christmas.
Well, that's our show this week as we pause to celebrate the birth of the Christ child. Say an extra prayer for your fellow Kansans who continue to recover from the fires and wind. Merry Christmas from all of us at the Kansas Ag Report. Thank you for watching this year. We really appreciate it. I'm Ken Rogers. See you next week.
Are you looking for Medicare supplement insurance plans? Now is a good time to look at your options with Kansas Farm Bureau Health Plans. A Medicare supplement insurance plan can help cover certain out-of-pocket expenses Medicare doesn't cover. Things like deductibles, co-insurance, and certain limitations that can be costly in the event of an accident or illness. With Kansas Farm Bureau Health Plans, you have options to Medicare supplement insurance plans with 4 levels of affordable coverage and service from an organization known for its commitment serving Kansans. We encourage you to compare our rates. For more information and to get a quote, contact a Farm Bureau Financial Services agent near you or visit kfbhealthplans.com. Medicare supplements insured by Members Health Insurance Company, Columbia, Tennessee. Not connected with or endorsed by the U.S. or state government.